What's up everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the XCharger Mustang and the plans forward and where we're going to go from there. In the last video we talked about what happened to the Mustang, how the engine blew up the track, kind of what I ended up doing to try to get the car fixed, but how that ended up not working. You got a little sneak peek at what I was working towards. So we got a little bit more progress done since then. So you can see in the engine bay, we have a lot of the stuff already out now. So you got the radiator, the AC condenser, we got that out, took the fuse buck out. The engine, I believe the whole harness is completely disconnected. I just have a few more wires connected underneath for the transmission. And that should be ready to pull out here soon enough. Other than that, there has been much more progress. I've been a little busy since then on a different project. Actually, what's be going in for this, let me show you right now. We got this Salvage. You can kind of see it's fairly damaged up front. It was a head-on collision. Went all the way up to where the wheel was, basically. You can kind of see on this wheel where this tire, huge chunk of the tire is missing right there. Surprisingly enough, this thing's still holding air. Overall, was not too bad. I already have done some work to it since it got here. So we got the front fenders off. I already took the badges, because you know, you gotta keep the badges. When I got it, it told me that the steering rack was cracked. What they didn't tell me is that it was cracked and really messed up. When I got here, tow truck driver was told, yeah, just roll it off the trailer. Seemed simple enough. Jumped in the car and I'm getting ready to unlatch it from all the straps so we can roll it off. I noticed this wheel is actually facing a little bit to the left. So I was like, alright, I just gotta turn the steering wheel a little bit. So I straightened this wheel out, and the truck driver tells me that the right wheel is facing right, and I turn the wheel to the left. And in my head I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right, I just straightened this wheel out. So I get out, stand right in front of it, and I see that. So what went from a simple just rolling off the trailer became a very, very complicated task of lowering it little by little so that this wheel doesn't force it to turn sideways. And if we straighten that one out, then this wheel would force it to go sideways. So what would have taken maybe 10 minutes to take off the trailer took about an hour. Now, would I wish if they had told me that it was that badly messed up? Yes, it would have saved me a lot of trouble knowing it ahead of time. But there's nothing I can really do about it now. However, it did include a brand new steering rack, which is actually underneath this. Let me move this out of the way. So they gave me, well, I can't really say brand new. It's a used one from one of their other salvages that they have on their yard. So a steering rack, also the subframe, the K member, and the radiator support was damaged just a little bit from the wreck. So they just gave me a whole new one completely. Also, when we got it, there was no brake fluid in this. And I was thinking either there might be a line that was broken somewhere, or they drained the fluid, which I didn't think was possible. So I'm thinking maybe there's a line broken somewhere, because the ABS unit did get pushed back, so it's probably somewhere in that area. So we had to use the e-brake on top of that to roll the Mustang off the trailer, which was even scarier. There was a few times where we got kind of close to the edge of the tracking for the trailer, and we had to kind of like cautiously lower it and try to maneuver and make sure it didn't come off and get stuck in the worst position. And actually, something that came up shortly before I bought it, when they were doing the oil change. Let me get in here real quick. Show you from here. Where are my keys? Come in here, you see it's all black. So exterior black, interior is all black. So it's all black. Leather interior. And it's actually really nice. And then you come in here, you'll notice, you can see right there, you have the Tremec logo on there. Well, when they were doing the oil change, they were looking underneath, saw, and they realized that this is actually a Tremec 256 and not the stock MT82. The Tremec is a way better option, especially since I plan on using this for autocross. It's going to be definitely a lot stronger transmission. It's going to last me a lot longer time, and it's going to be way better for harder shifts. You may notice I don't have a shift knob, so you can see that. So when I got the car, it didn't have a shift knob. I'm assuming obviously after the guy was in the wreck, he decided to take the shift knob. Probably was some custom aftermarket one, not the stock Tremec one that usually comes with these. So I didn't have a shift knob on this at all. Tried to find one for this, and they didn't have any that were in the correct size that would fit on the handle that I have on this that came with it. I couldn't find any of the Tremec shift knobs anywhere, at least the ones that had the specific shift pattern, where it has reverse to the up and the right, as opposed to, what is it, MT82 is the up and left. So I had to find a custom one that fit the thread size, because this thread size M12 by 1.75. So I had to find one that fit that size and also had the shift pattern on the top. So I got one of those ordered from actually CJ Pointy Parts, which is the only place I was able to find one. Theirs are custom made though, so that is on back order until October, I think. So it's gonna take a couple weeks, and I was not expecting it to take that long. Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, but it's taking, I think, almost 6 or 7 weeks. So that'll be here sometime in the future. But for the time being, I needed some way to be able to comfortably-ish shift the car, just to kind of like test all the gears, especially reverse. So what I got here, if you kind of focus in a little bit, so you have a nut with a flat end on there and one on top, and I forgot, how many did I put in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 washers, and kind of just sandwich them all in there. So you have kind of a ghetto shift knob. And then I just use the bottom, what do you call those? It's kind of like a locking nut, but it's like a full like cylinder. Use that to hold it up, kind of keep straight, so that way the top nut is basically flush with the top of the shift handle. And now I just use that. Makes it way easier to shift into reverse. Kind of feel shifts are firm. Feels good. It's really low miles for a 2011. 41,458 miles. It's very low miles. So it's very good condition. Other things, obviously when you have the Tremec 256, you have to put a one-piece drive shaft in there. So if you go under here, as you can see it, and better look right there, we have an aluminum one-piece drive shaft. So we got that bonus along with this. And we have the RTR. I'm guessing these are the street spec because they're not as loud as what I'm assuming the competition sounds like. We got the RTR street spec Axe Black exhaust. As far as I can tell, the exhaust is just a pair of axle backs. Don't know why they decided to put one of these little C clamps on, but it got rusted really bad. I'm gonna have to take those off and put a band clamp on it that will not rust, so that we don't get that look. Which, with the bumper on, you probably won't see it, but me knowing it's this badly rusted, I'm just gonna changing out to a band clamp that won't rust. So yeah, that's a quick update on the plans for my Mustang. Is we're going to do basically a Coyote swap, if you hadn't guessed already. They already gave me a new radiator, 'cause obviously the radiator in that one was completely wrecked. So brand new radiator with fan, everything's ready to go. This thing sounds great, it runs smoothly, it's ready to go. It's ready to get a new home. This is its new home. As far as this engine goes, I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out what's wrong with it, tear it apart again, take a closer look at everything, just make sure everything is good. Double check the piston, see if there's any extra wear in that cylinder. I don't think it's the piston rings. I mean, that was the first time doing it, but I would guess that I put the piston rings on properly and that all of this should be holding, so it should all be fine. There's some other things that I had looked at when I was putting it together and tearing it apart, kind of just noticed. One of them being, I think, I mean, you can't really see it now, but the chain guide for the passenger side cylinder head is on the back. I think the guide and the tensioner might be broken, which is not going to be fun to replace because you need a lot more tools to do that. And I don't have any of those tools, nor do I really want to pay more money for tools itself. The timing kit for this engine itself was $200, which I bought off of Amazon actually 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. And it was very useful. It helped me put the timing on this engine, make sure everything was lined up perfectly. But $200 for a timing kit, that's pretty excessive. So I don't really want to drop any more money on trying to get this fixed outside of what I can try to do here right now. But I really don't want to buy any more like engine specific tools that can only be used for this. So hopefully in the next couple days try to get more work done. So on this, finish disconnecting all the wiring for the transmission, and then this should be ready to drop out. Alright everyone, that's quick update on the project, the Coyote swap. It's finally happening. I've been planning this for a year now, and I've been thinking about doing it for a lot longer. Finally decided to pull the trigger and commit, and now it's happening, and ready for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a great autocross car, I can already tell. Alright guys, all of that and more to come on the Coyote swap in future videos, so stay tuned and I'll catch you guys next time.